Hello and welcome back to Obscure Vampire Chronicles Facts. My name is Ray. I am a big Anne Rice Vampire Chronicles Interview the Vampire fan, the books, the show, and Anne Rice in general. If you don't know me, I have made hundreds of TikTok videos about this show and the books. I did not expect a season 2 trailer to drop so suddenly. So I apologize if I took a while to make this video. I expected some kind of teaser, but nothing that was we got so much, and there's a lot to uncover. Last year I didn't really know that much about the TV universe, so I was more focused on like the Anne Rice lore and explaining to some people like that things are really not as clear cut as you may think. It's not just a movie from the 90s that you remember, it's an entire book series. But because we have more of the TV universe, I'm going to go into kind of both, I guess. My theories based on what I know about the TV universe and also what I know about the books. So let's get started. So already this is strange because there's two vampires being interviewed. Or I'm not sure if he's technically being interviewed or if he's just part of the interview. That's never happened in any of the books. There's never been more than one vampire being interviewed. To my knowledge. I might be wrong about that, but I don't think that that has ever happened. And Armand was never part of the interview with Louis. So this is going to be very interesting going forward with this. Also, Assad Zaman as Armand is amazing. This is a totally different character from season one Rashid. Uh, he is like he's like a completely different person now. He's really blossomed out of that cocoon.
Okay, so where did we leave off?
So most of Paris was filmed in Prague. Well, most of the Paris scenes were filmed in Prague, which I got to see a little behind the scenes of, and I can talk more about that once the season has come out. But I think that the sets look really, really good. As always, costume and set design of this show is absolutely flawless. So I'm very excited for this.
I was
So here we have Louis and Claudia. Claudia is being played by Delaney Hales. Hales, I think that's how you pronounce it. And I love that she's her own character. She's not trying to be Bailey Bass's Claudia. She's just trying to be her own version of Claudia. And I think that's probably what the production team was trying to do. And I think that's a really good choice. And I think she looks amazing as Claudia. I cannot wait to see her, see more of her in the future.
an awakening for Louis.
So here we have Ben Daniels, sorry, Santiago, played by Ben Daniels. Um, and he's, it seems like he's a completely different character, but honestly, that's fine with me. Santiago is really not all that important in the book. He grows suspicious of Louis and Claudia, and he's kind of played as like the the second to the final boss, um, who Louis eventually book spoilers ahead. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, all of my videos contain book spoilers. So if you want to just like and uh, favorite this video somewhere and come back later, please do that because I'm just gonna be full of book spoilers. So Santiago is killed by Louis, and along with the other theater coven members. So I'm very curious about what they're going to do with him because really he's kind of a blank slate. They can do whatever they want, other than just being part of the theater coven. That's really all he does. So it'll be really interesting what they do with his character. Also, just want to mention the theater coven is now a biker gang, which is an interesting choice. I'm not sure where they're going to go with that, but I feel like there's some kind of extracurricular activity they do outside of the theater, because I think that there might be something having to do with the war, post-war stress, and I remember there being a casting call about some kind of party happening. It looks like maybe they're crashing that party here at this building. Um, all just speculation. Maybe they're joining the party, but they don't look like they're joining the party. They look like they mean business here. So I feel like there's something happening outside of just theatrics. Oh.
To remake their lives.
And here we
was ready to return.
Here we have Roxanne Duran, who is playing Madeline. Madeline, again, is not a reoccurring character in the Vampire Chronicles. She, it gets turned by Louis and Claudia, because Claudia wants a companion, because Louis has disappointed her, and she's like, well, if you're gonna go be with Armand, then I need to be with someone. And so she finds companionship in Roxanne, or in Madeline, sorry. And she kind of becomes her mother figure, which I feel like that this Claudia doesn't really want a mother figure anymore. Maybe more of a friend, maybe something more. I don't know. We'll see what the nature of their relationship is later, but I'm just really happy to see that Claudia is going to have somebody that she can love and trust. Finally, I think Madeline will be a really interesting character, and I believe that she's a costume designer just based on what I've seen in this trailer, which we'll get into later, because she doesn't seem like just a normal audience member to me.
To remake their lives.
And also, Claudia looks like she's in some kind of doll outfit. It looks like she's part of the theater, which I wanted to talk about that, how Claudia seems really into being part of the theater coven, which in the book that doesn't really happen. She is happy to find other vampires because that's her goal, but she doesn't trust them, and she's like, Louis, we need to get out. But I feel like maybe there's that part of Memory's a monster or something, because Claudia being all like super into the theater, either that's a big change from the book, or that's something that Louis is misremembering. I think that that's interesting, because Louis doesn't seem like he likes the theater in this trailer, while Claudia does. However, Louis wants to stay with the theater in the book, and Claudia wants to leave. So how is that going to play out? So. Oh, and while we're here,
to remake their lives.
There's a lot of speculation going around that this hand is Lestat's hand. I'm not sure, but I can see why, because Louis looks really sad. He looks very stressed. It looks like he went through some very traumatic war experiences, and it wouldn't surprise me if he just started hallucinating Lestat, because again, he does that in the book. So, and then here we have Louis with some kind of camera in his hand. It's right here. And Armand, and they look like they're about to leave for somewhere, and Claudia is going the other way, and that might be kind of symbolic of them growing apart, because at this point in the story, Louis and Claudia's relationship, they're butting heads. They're not really on the same page anymore. Well, they kind of weren't already, but I think this is kind of showing that their relationship is starting to grow apart.
Was a hunger.
This is an interesting scene, because at first, there were people online speculating that this is some kind of like vampiric orgy or something, and that could be, but I think it could be sort of an entryway into the Coven. Like, hey, if you want to be a part of our Coven, we all have to share blood. That way we can all trust each other. Just speculating something like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the day.
Again, Claudia, she's like all for it. Louis isn't. So either this is gonna switch or they're gonna change some things. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that she wasn't into theater when she first got there in the book, the whole like avant-garde thing, but I don't know. Well, the avant-garde thing's from the movie, not the book. I'm sorry. Well, we'll see.
Théâtre des vampires. Everything you're about to see.
Again, here's Madeline. She's not wearing a hat. You see all the other audience members wearing something on, well, maybe she's not, but all the other audience members are kind of wearing something on their head like they just got there. They are really, excited to be audience members. She doesn't really seem like an audience member. She seems like she seems tense to be doing this. Like, she's wondering how this play is gonna go, which is why I think she actually works for the theater, like as a costume designer or something like that.
It's real.
Just gotta say, the theater itself looks amazing. It is based on, it's inspired by the real theater called the Grand Guignol. I am butchering that so badly. Which was a theater that embraced shock and splatterpunk horror. So I love that they took inspirations from that. Even the location of the theater is very heavily inspired by the actual location of the Guignol. And here we have a little look inside of Coven life. I love that the little coffin areas are also their makeup rooms. I think that's adorable. I love that there's like photos around. They've all gotten like they have a cozy little life here. And I love that they're not just creepers that just like sit around. Like, no, they're vampires that do have like lives and interests, and like they actually live here. And I love that. I love that you can see that this is like a homey little world for them. And over here is the picture of Lestat that we see later in the trailer. I think that there's another portrait over here. It's kind of hard to tell, but I had some speculation that I have theories. Speculation. Something. I think something weird is happening in this scene because there's a lot to unpack. Because first, Claudia and Louis are right here, right? And then the picture of Lestat is to the left over here. And just
Louis and Claudia, welcome to our Coven.
So they all seem pretty welcoming as a Coven, but then go do it again.
Louis and Claudia, welcome to our Coven.
They all seem very welcoming except for these two. This one is looking away, and then this one is just standing. They're not bowing. So there's already some tenseness to this dynamic. So that's interesting. So here's Claudia, part of the play. Not something that happens in the book, so that'll be really cool and interesting to see Claudia a part of that. I wonder if Louis is going to be a part of one of the plays. I'm sure he is. That'll be really cool to see Louis being part of a play. Oh my gosh, and I hope Jacob Anderson gets to sing. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Sorry, I just thought of that just now. I can't tell which moment is their first meeting because every time I see Louis and Armand together, it looks like their first meeting. So I'm like, what is their first meeting? So here, Madeline is about to be turned by Louis and Claudia, it looks like. Again, you got all this fabric. There's a mannequin, a fabric. I think she's a costume designer or something like that. It's gotta be. So there's a little tiny blink and you miss it. So, first of all, Santiago is fine as hell. Okay, just want to say that. This little clip is interesting because this doesn't look like something Armand was wearing in the other clips that we saw. And there's somebody in the back right there. I don't know. I feel like that this might be prior to the 1940s, maybe. Again, there's so many scenes where I cannot tell when Louis and Armand are meeting for the first time. It could be here, it could be there, I don't know. This could also be one of Louis just looking for rats or something and coming across Armand here. Here, we have some book lore finally to get into. These are the Reverence. They are basically vampire zombies. Mindless vampires that just think about eating and that's it. They just kill everything in sight. So I think it's so cool that AMC, since they're known as the zombie and vampire network, that they are going to focus on the Reverence. That's going to be really cool and really fun. So I think this is part of the party I was talking about earlier. Biker gang coming up, they're throwing fire into this party. I think there is some kind of secret thing that the theater is doing. So Claudia and Louis running away from the war here, getting caught in a battle in World War II. Some serious PTSD, some serious issues that are going to happen to these characters because of this, and some very big tensions between Louis and Claudia. It's going to be really interesting to see that. This looks like it takes place right after the season 1 finale, so it looks like Daniel and Louis have never like sat next to each other like this, not like this. So for him to sit next to him like this, he's kind of like, I don't know, it seems like he's going, dude, just listen to me. There's something going on, and you need to admit to yourself that there's something weird going on. I don't know, just kind of like a pep talk.
Who's that handsome man on the wall?
So you know how I was talking about earlier about how I found this whole scene to be very strange? One, Claudia is saying, who's that handsome man on the wall? Which she knows who Lestat is, and I don't really think that's sarcasm. And also, why would she want to point out a picture of Lestat to Louis? That just doesn't make sense to me. Also, Louis is looking straight forward here, okay? The speaker that they are talking to is over on the right side, but Louis is looking straight forward. He's not looking over here. He's looking straight forward. Claudia is looking over here. What is he looking at?
I'll go find her. Lestat de Leon Gore.
This does look like he is looking at the portrait of Lestat, but I feel like that there's some editing here. I think he might have seen this before Claudia asked, who's that handsome man on the wall? I think later she asks that, and that she's pointing at a picture that's next to Lestat that could be a picture of Nikki. That's what I think. The other reason I think that is because Armand says our co-founder, not our founder, which our founder. The founder of the theater is Nikki. Nikki is the one who names the theater. He's the one who comes up with the whole idea. I would not consider Armand to be the founder. Armand became the leader, but he was not the founder. Nikki was the one who created the whole concept in his crazed state. So I think that there's also a portrait of Nicholas. It is coming 2024! Yay! Looks like 2023 we're gonna be very starved of vampire content. That's fine. We're just gonna milk this as long as we can. Enjoy all those rewatches of season 1, coming up with all those theories. So many theories have already gone around, and it's just gonna get even more insane with how long we're gonna be waiting. And but that's how it is right now. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy my content, you can follow me on my TikTok at Gore, and you can also support me. I have a Ko-Fi where I take donations. I will never, not have my content for everyone available. But I do this completely for free. I work full time. I just want to do this for fun and because I really love this show and I want to support it. So please consider donating a tip to me if you like my content. Also, I have t-shirts, Armand's Blenders. If you want to check those out on my website and the link below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you when the next official trailer comes out. Bye!